Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. It is time for the weekly news roundup. Kind of short news week this week. I actually had to scrape for enough articles here for the day, so we'll see how we go. But how is everybody today? We have a couple of fun and fascinating topics. Let's go ahead and start out with who's here. Midnight Owl is the first. Hydra Knight MC is the second. Mr. Snap the Banana Man would be number 3. Greetings, Loopy. Hello there. I am doing well. How are you? Loafer Wolf, greetings. Q and Fiend, how's it going there? Keegan the Tennessean, how are you doing? And Gnostic, greetings to you. Yes, I have switched to live chat. Thank you. Kitties are so formidable sometimes. Yep, little brother threw my phone in the pool today and it still works. Why'd your little brother throw your phone in the pool? That's not nice. Hello, Lance. Greetings to you. The kitty knows we're watching. Yes, greetings, Peabody. How's it going there? Oh, hello, hello, hello. KO2610, your number is up. How's it going there? CJ brings the likes. Yes, he does. Rex Warden, greetings to you. Mitchell, hello there. Sella, hello. Shirt logo is playing goofy with the chroma key. Yes, it is. It always does. Oh, well, you know, happens. Quali66, how's it going there? I found a problem I'd like to help. All right, leave the question in there, and if somebody else doesn't get to it, then we will come back to it when we are ready to hit the news. Andrew, greetings, hello, and the kitty says meow meow. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the newsiness. I gotta find my screens here. Let's see, I need you and you queued up. All right. Welcome back to the privacy news on Switch to Linux. These are recorded live Friday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to come by and watch them live, interact with the crowd, see all of the in-between things that don't get cut out in the middle, then come on by. Otherwise, today we are looking at NordVPN as the affiliate. So I want to clarify something as well, because I had somebody leave a comment that was a very valid comment. A while back, I did a video on VPNs called Truth and Lies in VPNs. And in that video, I say not everyone needs a VPN. And I stick firm to that. Not everybody needs a VPN. You don't need a VPN for everything down the road. But there are valid reasons to have one. You travel a lot. You find yourself open Wi-Fi networks. You're at coffee shops, things like that. Maybe you need to get around some geo restrictions for some things. These are all legitimate reasons to have a VPN. So that is why I have some VPN links. So I use Nord and I use private internet access are the 2 affiliate links that I have. Proton VPN is also good. They don't have an affiliate program. So those are the 3 I'd recommend. So today we're looking at Nord, tlm.li/Nord if you would like to use my affiliate link for that. If you happen to need a VPN, you can get Nord with cryptocurrencies, any type of payment method. All they need is an email address and the payment method, so you can create, you know, a Proton Mail account or whatever. For using this affiliate link, it helps out this channel, of course, but for $107.55, you'll get 3 years of access to NordVPN. You can connect up to 6 simultaneous devices, including a router setup, and they are outside of the 5 eyes. So that is why I recommend Nord. And on to the privacy news. All right, so this is an interesting article here. How to track everything your baby does. Do we want to track everything our baby does? I mean, Houston, check the logs. It looks like the baby did like 5 number 2s today. Very fascinating to know. And of course, this goes into, you know, there's apps to devices to the trusty spreadsheet, plenty of options. And of course, they're looking at the gadgets and the apps and all these. So wonder what circumstances might you want this? Is this useful information? It can be. I'm not saying don't do this or it's silly to. The danger and the warning that I would have is I would never use any type of app or any other type of Silicon Valley or other digital type media technology to make this happen. Now, this being said, it's very good to be proactive, especially me. I don't go visit doctors. No offense if you're a doctor, but I don't trust most of you. Some of you I do. Most of you I don't. But I also have a background in medical research, so I'm not completely ignorant. But one of the things I do have is I have blood sugar kits, I have blood pressure cups, and I have a logbook that regularly I take blood sugar, I take blood pressure, I log these things in a book. If there's some weird issue showing up, if all of a sudden I get up and I'm noticing my blood pressure is consistently super high for a week on end, it might indicate something could be up. You know, maybe I might want to go and chat with a doctor about it. If I'm seeing my blood sugar consistently over 100 after a fast, that could be a big problem. And it might be something that I need to go and look at. So keeping regular logs is a good thing, whether it's for you, for your personal health, or for your baby or whatever else. I don't see a problem with this. However, the thing is that I completely warn against using any type of internet-connected application, particularly those that want to make it all easy and cloud sync everything, because that means that now some other third-party company is also logging and tracking everything that your little baby does as well. And that's not something that we want. So what do you guys think? Do you log things? Would you trust these applications? Let me know what you guys think down below. Next fun privacy question. Facebook is now creating a new cryptocurrency that is apparently set to launch this month. So our question today is, would you trust a Facebook cryptocurrency? Of course, this means that Facebook controls a cryptocurrency, which basically means they could see anything that you do with this. Is this a little goofy? What do you guys think about this? Is this to you a little bit freaky, a little bit goofy? Would you want a Facebook cryptocurrency? So what can you use it with? Well, any of the in-appy type things. So, you know, there's ways that you can, you know, set up a store on WhatsApp or I don't know about WhatsApp, but Instagram. You can do an Instagram store. You could sell things on Facebook. So people can use these cryptocurrencies to buy and sell directly on the Facebook platforms. Of course, if it gets big enough, and since Facebook, unfortunately, for some silly reason is still big, this could catch on, in which case it could be started to be used in other places like Apple Pay and Google Pay and Samsung Pay and things like this. And so the problem is now is that we have this cryptocurrency thing that leads the #1 spying company in the world a means to financially track you, above and beyond the fact that they actually are already getting this credit card data and linking it back to you as well. We've talked about that before on the show. But would you use Facebook cryptocurrency? Let me know down below. On to fun and scary tracking type stuff from the Android police. Google Maps now gets on-screen speedometer while driving. So now as you're driving along, you're using your cell phone as your GPS device. It'll actually tell you what your actual speed is as you go. This means that now Google actually knows exactly how fast you're driving your vehicle. Also means that Google could potentially pass that information to the police. Remember there was a case, it was a few years back, it was a little bit of scandal with TomTom, the old famous, you know, one of the two big car GPS companies, where TomTom was actually taking this data that was collecting on traffic patterns and passing it over to police. And the police would use that data to figure out where they should sit to get the most amount of ticket revenue from catching people speeding. And this is this very similar type of situation. So now if you're using Google and Google Maps and, you know, these services, they know if you're logged into a Google account with your device, they know where you are, how fast you're going, which also means they can determine if you're speeding, and that potentially could be used against you, which is a very frightening thing. What do you guys think about that? Are you concerned or not concerned that Google knows how fast you are driving down the road? Let me know in the comments down below. And on to our primary, if my thing, oh boy, our primary article's not going to load. Come on, load, stupid. Thank you. All right, so our feature story today, Microsoft discreetly wiped its massive facial recognition database. Looking at the fun history of all of this. First of all, raise your hand if you understood that Microsoft actually had one of these. No, nobody's hands was raised? Yeah, that's right. So this is called MS Celeb. And basically what they were doing is they were grabbing Creative Commons licensed photos primarily of celebrities and public figures. So if you had you were a celebrity and, you had images out there. They just had bots running around scraping things, which doesn't surprise me. This is actually quite funny as a web developer, and I also sell server space. I actually block Bing bots from all my servers because I don't know what it is about Bing bots, but they will actually get on your website and they will scrape your website like 30 times over in a single day. A Google Bing bot will jump on your server and scrape 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gigabytes of data off of your server in a single day. No idea why or how it does that. So I've just blocked Bing bots. But they had deployed these spiders all over the internet, going out, collecting any photos they could find with people, assuming they were public, and they were dumping them into this database called MS Celeb for celebrity. And so Microsoft was then using this facial recognition database. They were selling it to military applications and other business applications as a means to train AI facial recognition services. And of course, in the last, they started this in 2016. Well, in the last couple of months, if you remember, Microsoft has been trying to lead the charge going, hey guys, we need to regulate facial recognition technology. We need to, have this responsible. We need to have ethics about how we handle this kind of stuff. And I think somebody looked over and said, Microsoft, do you have a database of 10 million different images that you're using to train facial recognition AI and selling this to the military? So in order so that this wouldn't completely blow up in their face, they're like, quietly delete this thing. So they quietly delete this thing. They push it off to the background. And then in the middle of this all, it starts coming out. From FT.com, I think, originally came across this information. So Microsoft is very quietly trying to do this, and so now it just completely blows up all over the place. So with that being said, what do you guys think? This Microsoft, did you know Microsoft had a facial recognition database of celebrities? The good news is it was celebrities, so it wasn't the majority of us, but then they secretly delete the thing. They got caught in the middle of doing that. So, hey, at least it's out here now. The good news is they deleted the thing. The bad news is this is after they made a whole lot of money selling it. They should take every bit of the profits they made from all of that, and they should just donate it to some charity if they're really serious about helping to regulate facial recognition. It's interesting. Why do they have this database? Why did they start getting all that? It's weird. It raises some questions that maybe we should start looking at Microsoft. And if you're using that Microsoft facial recognition to log into your system, that's creepy. What do you guys think about all of these stories down below? Don't forget, take a look at the description down below as well if you would like to follow my affiliates. And take a look at my other affiliates there as well. Thanks for coming along, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. All right, first section out of the way. Stick around. We got 2 more sections of the news, but let's go back to the comments. Business is going to be coming up next. Oh boy, we have some scary business news this week, man. Oh. All right. Let's see. I was first as my name is Michael. Not the same. All right. Really? That hole is the back of my chin. I spilled coffee down my shirt. Again. If the question is how many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop, the answer is not 3, but 1. You place it on your tongue and roll it until you hit the center. That's right, an infinite roll. 1 infinite roll. Yep. Whenever I try to install Ubuntu Linux on my PC, it gives me an error that could not write files to the hard drive. This happens with all Linux distros, but not with Windows. Cannot write files to the hard drive. Check if Secure Boot is turned on. You need to disable Secure Boot in this modern day of installing Linux. And depending on which version it is, so like Ubuntu can go in to a Secure Boot, but it may not allow you to install it if Windows is already there. There's some little nuances to that. I don't remember all the details without looking into them, but check first if Secure Boot is disabled. I don't see why that would do that, but yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at what the error is. Turkey Next would not let me load my prepaid debit Chime card. What? Good day, Sleepy. How's it going down there? It's good night for me. It's good morning for you. All right. I mean, they sell them, but they do not reload them. Interesting. Yeah. I know with Amazon, you can buy Amazon gift cards most places, but you can only reload them at CVS Sheets. There's like a dozen or so stores. Anything special about the formatting of a drive? I haven't dealt with NTFS. Oh, there's a super chat I didn't get to yet. Let me see if I can find that. They don't show up on my system here. Steven Anderson, thank you for that super chat, my friend. Always appreciate that. Let me know if there's a specific question or anything attached to that, but thanks for that. Always appreciate that. Walk out shaking my head. Wow, Food Line is a Chime Bank partner. That's interesting. Are you changing anything in your BIOS setting? Yeah, I generally like to enable legacy boot first. Try using different USB image burning software, and I don't think it would be that. Hello, Paul. Greetings. Disable secure boot. Yeah, Q1 Fiend says the same thing. I would try that. Try installing to a FAT32. That's another thing is I found that with the SanDisk, like if you guys remember, I did the live show where we installed Peppermint. It didn't want to install. It turned out that there was something about that drive that when I wiped the drive, formatted it blank, then it would install. Now, I know I've actually had a problem with Debian Stretch not installing unless I'd formatted a drive first in some instances. So it could be something like that. But of course, if you're trying to, oh, the other thing is if you are trying to dual boot. If you're trying to dual boot and have a partition for Windows and a partition for Linux, you have to shrink the Windows partition first. Some installers may do that automatically, like the Ubuntu installer should, but that might be something in the issue as well. It's not able to shrink the partition. Remember that those days? It was difficult to remember when the last kid pooped when you are severely sleep deprived. Yeah, you can't take it too far. Capital One has no locations here and no ATMs. That's probably good. I'm not a fan of Capital One. The infrared halo. Which infrared halo? What? Not really sure what exactly I'm supposed to do with cash deposits. Huh. Patron saint of sensibility. Oh boy. Check the Arch Wiki for your exact computer. Facebook's cryptocurrency is going to fail. Wouldn't trust Facebook to burn properly if it was doused in gasoline. Start with disabling secure boot and setting it to boot legacy BIOS instead of UEFI. Yeah, those are the two big steps I would say. Why is that bookkeeping? Put it on my personal checking. STS, why don't you set a petty cache section for your accounting? So I have a petty cache section on all my books accounting. If I have to put something directly into a personal account, I just drop it into petty cache and transfer from petty cache over into owner's draw. That's what generally fixes that as well. Petty cache is your friend. All right. Most common mistake people make is they dump gas and immediately strike the match. You learn after losing eyebrows. You have to let it sit for about 20 minutes. Or throw the match from afar, man. Come on. I don't trust any currency I can't physically hold in my hand. Pizza Loving Nerd quit the Linux community and said he may start using Windows. Oh, that's not cool. Why's that? Pizza, come back. TomTom sold that data to the German government. Yeah, I have a Garmin. Like, I do not recommend using a smartphone for a car GPS. Dude, a car GPS costs $100. Go buy a car GPS. They are way more reliable than a phone is. All right, how else would Connect facial recognition for Xbox Live accounts work? I know. Windows 10 has all the biometrics built in. Yeah. What if Bill Gates uses Mac Linux for the fastest, most secure stripped edition of Windows imaginable? Probably Linux. A friend got notice his Xbox Live account was being used while he was at work. His son's face close enough to his face, he okayed to connect. Yes, Eli, the computer guy, did quit YouTube again. Yep. he'll be back. Is it Google or Bing? The Bing bot. Specifically, it's the MSN Bing bot is the one that harvests no end. Google bots are not... Google bots don't take a lot of data. You burn the ISO correctly, it should work. Yep. Make up your mind. Which mind? Remember when AT&T was blackholing DNS requests? Yep. Keep in mind, you shouldn't be dual booting unless you know what you're doing. Yes, you should not be dual booting. Yandex face recognition algorithm is the best. That's scary. Bing hacked my brother's Facebook, Firefox profile yesterday. Had to reset the browser. Really? Laptops have unusual security features such as a secondary on-off button or a write protect screw. Rare, but it can happen. Yeah, that's true. Chromebooks have that. Chromebooks, you cannot do anything to the hard drive on the Chromebook without there's a screw in them. You have to take the back cover off and remove the write protect screw. Not write files to the hard drive or using USB 3 port. Once again, thanks for that super chat, Steve. Good point. Is USB 2 or 3? Yeah, I mean, if you're just booting the distro, it doesn't matter as much. Actually, I run my Tails off a USB 2 drive. I use a USB 3 port, but I use a USB 2 drive. It works just fine. Apparently, MS did allow their Surface laptops to use Secure Boot, but changed the key such you can install Linux. I know my Surface One, I'm pretty sure I could install Linux. I know I can boot Linux. I'm pretty sure I can install one. However, they actually have a virtualization core inside, which actually makes me a little nervous. So if you boot into Tails, if you take a Surface Pro 1 and boot directly into Tails, it gives you the virtualization warning. Same thing as if you try and load Tails in a virtual machine. That's frightening to me. Very interesting. Super chat trying to help support the channel. Well, thank you, Steven. Always appreciate that. Most painful part of moving from Windows was losing NTFS compression. Oh, that's right. Q1 Fiend. I submitted that book to the distributor that pushes it to iTunes today. So it should be there. I would give it 1 or 2 weeks, maybe. If I can remember to look for it, I'll let you know. And were you looking for the ebook or the audiobook, Q1 Fiend? Ebooks and audiobooks. Audiobook is not done yet. We're still working on the audiobook. But let me know if you were looking for the ebook or the audiobook. Ebook, though, was submitted to the system that goes under the Apple system. Just have to know what you're doing. Hello, James Miller. Greetings. Did have a Windows brick a few times, so it was spinning Rust. Yeah, SSD, so far no problem dual booting. Yeah. Paul, thank you for that super chat, Paul. Always appreciate that, my friend. Still loaded. Okay. Your video. There's a halo around my head. Oh, really? Is there a halo around my head? That's cool. Sweet. Maybe I just have my color set up weird. Could be my hat, too. Facebook coin will be bound to the value of paper money, so it will obviously have no privacy. He's having growing pains, as most of us have had. He's dealing with the pressures growing up, and it was a long time ago for me. Yeah. Where's the kitty? He's down here. Hi, kitty. All right, let's go ahead and jump on over to our next section, which is going to be business news. Business news, business news. Welcome back to the business news here on Switched to Linux. These are recorded live Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to catch it live, interact with the banter of the live chat, or if you just want to watch the short clips, then you can go ahead and watch this. Today we are talking about A2 hosting as my affiliate link of the day. I'm of course hosting my websites, my email servers, my Nextcloud servers, and about 35 or so client websites on my A2 hosting account. Love these guys. You actually call them on the phone and get like people you can actually understand. And I've had very few small issues, and all of those issues, they were resolved very quickly, as you get with any type of company. So you can get hosting starting as little as $4 a month. And of course, I'm using the VPS, which is a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier. And if you need some super servers, dedicated hosting is absolutely a decent price as well. And the more you buy up front, the better you get. Using my affiliate link, that definitely helps support the channel. So that being said, let's jump on over to the news. And the first article in the news, we talked about this briefly on the show last night, is Apple with their store, their iOS Apple store, is this antitrust or not? So a bunch of iOS developers are banding together a new class action lawsuit to sue Apple over being a basically antitrust and a monopoly. So they're alleging that, hey, the only way we can get our application on the phone is to go through the Apple Store. And I honestly think they have a case. As we discussed on that show last night, and have a look at that show last night where we talked about the Apple parts. You know, the good thing about the iPhone is if you're not going to modify your phone, an iPhone is more secure than an Android phone. Like more privacy, more security, in my opinion. If you are going to mod your phone, mod it with like a Lineage. So I run a modded Android, and I absolutely love my modded Android. It runs Lineage right now. If you're going to mod a phone, Android is better, at least until those Linux phones hit the market, and then those are going to be better. But the thing is that on my Android, there's settings you need to enable to sideload an app, but you can do it. I can download an application and load it. I can install secondary, or third-party stores, F-Droid. There's a few other stores that are out there, and I can do these types of things without a problem. On the Apple, you have no recourse unless you jailbreak it. And that in and of itself will raise some extra issues. What if I want to be able to download an application and sideload it? Like for example, one of my clients, they sell, they sell parts for like industry, just like high level radio frequency type parts, telecommunication type things. And a lot of their products will come with apps. Well, guess what? You can only use those apps on an Android device because you have to sideload them. They don't have the apps available to find on the store because, why bother? It's a weird one-off app for a specialized piece of hardware. But on an Android, you can do that. And so what these guys are alleging is that Apple, they take too high of a cut. In fact, it's 30% commission on whatever you sell. So that means that these guys, to make any money, you have to jack up the price. It causes a lot of issues. And so they're saying that, hey, we need another way, because what if I'm really good at marketing, I'm really good at branding, and I develop a brand and I get people over to use my product. Now they come and they want to download my app. What if they want to get the app directly from me and sideload it onto their phone? With an Android, we can do that. With an iPhone, we have no recourse. That's what this is about. What do you guys think? Do you think that it's good that Apple locks their phone down? Because as we did say, that helps with the security of Apple, because they do actually vet them. It's not like the Play Store where they pretend it's more secure and it's actually the wild, wild west of insanity. But what do you guys think? Would this help Apple if they were forced to open up third parties? Would it hurt Apple? Is it good or is it bad? Let me know your thoughts about that one. Next is the FTC secures the authority to open an antitrust probe into Facebook. This is an interesting one as far as antitrust goes, because I am no friend of Facebook. I think Facebook should just burn somewhere. But with that being said, I'm not really seeing the antitrust in this one, unless I don't understand antitrust as good as I think I do. But the thing is that with like social media, there is so many social media sites. Now, them and Google, Facebook and Google, kind of have the, they sort of have the corner on all advertising. In fact, I hear from people that use it, I hear that Facebook is way better advertising than Google is, which is terrifyingly shocking because who uses social media to be sold things? But regardless, I guess that happens. There's so many other social media sites, and Facebook is losing ground. I don't see what this is going to be about. Now, this is in the middle of the Justice Department is looking into Google, FTC is looking into Facebook and Amazon. So this is interesting. I'm not sure what I think about this. Please educate me, guys. Let me know in the comments down below. So next, FCC empowers carriers to block robocalls by default. This is going to be an interesting thing. We're going to start seeing a jack up on our phone bills because in the middle of all this discussion, if you remember, I can't remember if we talked about this on the news or not. I know I've seen the articles, and I'm not sure if I chose to talk about them, but some rulings came out that basically said the FCC has said that yes, you can block robocalls, but no, you don't have to do it for free. You can charge money for blocking robocalls. Now, there is some verifications you can get. AT&T, I think, had free blocking of calls. Verizon has had the ability to block calls, but it costs money. I think they switched to maybe having a free option. It might be based on an app. I don't like the fact that there's these apps. I don't want to install an app that does blocking. I think that that's a wrong way to address this. Basically what this means is that they're going to have to set up a new caller ID authentication network, will be used by the end of 2019, which will verify and vet the different calls, and then these will be enabled to block the robocalls. But they can block them by default, but they don't have to block them for free. So we might very well see line items being added to our phone bills for a robocall blocking feature, in which case you could call them and turn it off. It's still a little murky what's going on here. The rulings just are A, the FCC has cleared robocalls can be blocked. B, they can be blocked. Carriers can block them by default. And C, carriers do not have to do it for free. And so with that conjunction with the current the current arrogancy of the FCC, I think that we're just going to start seeing by default added extra add-on fees onto our cell phone bills. I could be wrong before. I've been wrong before. I could be wrong on that. But what do you guys think of this? Is this good? Is this bad? If it's not app-based, I am completely in support of an app-based system. Whether or not you pay for it, I have to decide whether I will or will not pay for such a thing. I just think it's funny that I would have to pay to block something that's illegal. Maybe we have to dig deeper and look into some other factors. What do you guys think of that? And on to our feature story of the day. Would you let Walmart employees in your home when you're not there? I mean, literally. Okay, now I'm going to start this by saying a very, very dear friend of mine is a Walmart employee. At least last I know. I think he still is. So they do have some good ones. They have some decent Walmart employees. And I'm not saying everybody that works at Walmart's, not necessarily a good employee. But by and large, Walmart employees are not exactly sharp tools in the shed. They're not exactly light bulbs in the chandelier. They're not exactly competent type of people. Walmart, for some reason, they hire, I don't know what type of folks. Do we want these people in our houses? Guys, you remember Amazon tried to do this stuff? It's the smart technology. We're going to come on in and you're going to allow us to open up your door and set the package inside. This is literally Walmart coming into your house when you're not home and stocking your refrigerator. I don't want a Walmart employee meandering in, of course, especially not that guy I was talking about before. He's kind of like, he only uses one hand and he's really slow and he breathes heavy. And I think he kind of drools a little. I don't know. So you can be anywhere you want. You don't have to be home. We deliver fresh groceries from your local store to your kitchen or your garage. Literally, directly into your fridge, where they belong. Introducing Walmart in-home. A new convenience from Walmart. Oh, Debbie is on the way. Meet Debbie. Oh, God. All right. So, they don't have a lot. This is one of the things. Okay, how do they enter your home? It's your preference. You choose between the front door or the garage, and the appropriate smart device enables the delivery associate to gain one-time access. So in other words, you have to have some type of smart lock, you know, a device connected to the internet that somebody can hack. Gotcha. Then do you need to buy a security camera? No, the delivery associates are equipped with a wearable camera. So they're basically wearing, you know, your cop cams, your body cameras. You can watch the entire delivery live as it's happening, or view the archive video later. You'll be able to see the whole process from opening your door. What happens if they go and they close the door, kind of close the door, turn off the body camera, and go in and loot the place? Because I have seen people, Walmart employees, that do that type of stuff, guys. I'm telling you. How much does it cost? We'll be excited to share more information about price close to the launch in the fall. Will the grocery be delivered in-home, be priced the same? Yes, with the extra fee, of course. How will this service make my life better? I mean, the mere entertainment of having a Walmart employee meander into your house is going to be sheer entertainment. To sign me up, baby. All right, what is Fridgetopia? Fridgetopia is the feeling your refrigerator gets when it's stocked with everything you need. Check, please. I want out of this world. We have Fridgetopia from Walmart, people. Fridgetopia is not what I call somebody coming into my house when I'm not home and stocking my refrigerator. Oh boy, did I miss some of these? Maybe all these are exciting. When is it available? Oh Lord, they're coming to my state. Pittsburgh, Kansas City, and Vero Beach. Anybody from Pittsburgh, Kansas City, or Vero Beach that are going to be taking us up on this offer? Let me know. Who delivers it? Your groceries will be delivered by a trained and vetted Walmart associate who has been with a local store for at least a year. So you might actually see a familiar face. That would not be a familiar face I don't want to see in my house, man. I'm sorry. What do you guys think of all this stuff? Let me know in the comments down below. Wowzers. Wowzers. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Apple takes their developers for granted. Gnostic. He's upset about the code of conduct and issues with Mint has to go. Snaps and flat packs. Trivial matters. Oh, Mint ain't going anywhere. But, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the Linux community, as I've talked about in the video I had that's called, you know, Why I'm Not a Linux Elitist, there's a lot of people that just think that, oh, if you run Linux, you're not doing it right unless, you know all of the ins and outs. Guys, there's people that actually have to get real work done on their systems. We don't have time for any of that stuff, I don't have time to get all that stuff going. In fact, all last night I was finalizing the book cover. Let me find it here. I'll show you guys what I did with the final part of that book cover. If I can find it. Let's see. Images. All right. So the book cover as it is going out. This is the book cover. It is going out to print. So this is the front, the middle, and the back. So if you guys have already saw just the cabin part of it, this is actually what the full cover is going to look like. So we just push this out. Guys, this cover, I have so many hours in this cover. I think it was 40 for this, for the cabin build and stuff. And then for the cover itself, I think I spent about another hour or two doing this last night. I don't have time to tinker around under the hood of Linux. I have real work to get done. And that's the thing, is that, unfortunately, some people think that if you're not really doing under the hood stuff, it's not really Linux. Guys, Linux is a tool. It's an operating system. And it serves, if the only purpose of Linux is to sit there and tinker under the hood of your computer, then it's completely useless. Get rid of it and go back to Windows. I want to teach people how to do real things on Linux. Real work, web design work, writing work, authoring work, design work. I want to teach people how to do real things on Linux. And that's really the thing. And it's sad if he has to leave the Linux community because of some of that kind of stuff, you know, but come on back, Pizza. Come on back. Let's see. Losing my place. Linux users are oblivious to the internet Linux drama. Yeah, I love Capital One. Curious as why I don't like them. Mostly because they're Capital One. Pretty much every major credit card company is fairly slimy, but you know, if you're happy with them, stick with them, you know. Internet Linux Toronto is like a soap on TV. Apple hasn't been good since they had a rainbow logo. Yeah. Apple can do whatever they want, but they will reap what they sow. Mr. Rossman showed me all I needed about the Apple nonsense. Yeah, did you see the he testified on the ongoing court case in Norway, right? So they had the one guy comes on and asking, you know, real legitimate questions, literally like real legitimate questions that are you know, what's the difference between an OEM screen, a refurb screen, a third party screen? You know, what is an import? You know, what is copyright? You know, all these types of things. The Apple guy comes up, shows them some video clips that are like, you know, F star Apple blah blah blah. He's like, so you clearly have a problem. He says, yes, I very clearly have a problem with Apple for reasons I've described in my videos. Or no further questions. Okay, what was the point of that? All right, trying to discredit the witness. All right, well I guess whatever. Even MS has opened up some extended, however, a little 2 decades EE. If Microsoft does, needs to, then eventually Apple will also have to open up. Yep. Looking too closely at anything Linux or otherwise will only breed contempt. Yep. Robocall's not an issue where I live. Our politicians are less corrupt than in the USA. Yeah. Watch carriers start blocking voter canvas calls. Ugh. Hey, even if they only block half of them, that's perfect, fine by me. I mean, block all of them, please. But yeah, they'll probably only block some of them. I actually have some, I don't know, some political party I don't necessarily agree with knocking on my door. I'm like, what do you want? Oh, we're from XYZ party. I'm like, go away. I'm like, what? But go away. Trust me, if your opposing party showed up here, I wouldn't talk to them either. Okay? Just go away. I want all y'all guys to go away. All right, I'll vote for who I vote for. Leave it at that. You're not going to convince me one way or the other, and if you're trying to give me information, I'm going to assume that the opposing guy's information is better. Deal with it that way. All right. Honestly, Mint is a good thing. Yep. People who have worked for cable companies as tech support installation or any heating cooling company know that you do not want to be in any random person's house. True that. They might get sued for stepping on people's pet cockroaches. Walmart in my home? Yeah. I mean, hey, it's one thing to, like, I didn't like the service. I wouldn't use the service, but hey, ordering your groceries and having them show up, I'd trust Instacart to do that before I'd trust Walmart to do that. I mean, really. Walmart employees get shot by homeowner thought to be burglar. News at 11. But Walmart greeters couldn't afford it, yeah. Like, if you remember when they were doing the delivery service, which is still a flop, they were doing the delivery service a couple years ago. Literally, it was the shift-changing employees. Oh, we have an order that's kind of nearby where you live. Go drop off these for an extra $10. Ah! People might start having in-home delivery set up to rob delivery people or worse. Oh yeah, in this country? Hey, this is the country, guys. Them wonderful northern Canadians put together this hitchhiking robot. The hitchhiking robot traveled all the way around the world, lands in the United States. In the first states in the United States, it's mugged and beheaded in Philadelphia. Welcome to America. It's like the classic line. If you guys saw the old the Huck Finn film with Elijah Wood in it, right? You know, the people show up, there's some scuffle breaks out, the sheriff turns around, shoots a guy, and then he turns around, welcome to America. It's just like that. I mean, come on, people. That's America. Care if it's Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy. I don't want a stranger in my home without me being present. Yep. I don't let the landlords in here without me being present. If they want to come in and do whatever maintenance, whatever else, nope. You got to schedule the time I'm home. You're not in my, no one's in my house without me being here, you know. AT&T, Verizon, military companies, health insurance companies, pharmaceuticals. That's why USA does not have democracy. More money is more campaigns. Yep. Yep. Keep the change, you filthy animal. Don't get Walmarted by Walmart. Oh boy. Lost my place. Oh, there it is. It's Walmart stock Brondo. What is Brondo? Seems to us today is whining about a Linux standard again. Should it be Chromebook? I don't really want a Linux standard. I think that, I mean, it would help the Linux desktop if you could go to a Best Buy or a Walmart or some other box store and see and play with and demo a Linux computer. That would definitely help. Do we need a Linux standard? I don't think so. I mean, if we do, use Linux Mint. Pop! OS would be okay if you change the desktop. GNOME is not a good desktop for the average computer user. It is not a desktop for the average computer user. Not at all. You need something that's familiar to most people. But that's okay. That's all right. I don't think the discussions are good. You know, the discussions are very good. Should it be Chrome OS? Absolutely not. No, not Chrome OS. No, no. And the reason is it's Google. It's a Google product. I don't want a Google product to take over the desktop market. They've stolen the internet. They've stolen the ad market. They've stolen the cell phone market. They've stolen the browser market. We don't need them in the desktop computer market. No, Chromebooks should be burned with fire. And it's not true Linux. I mean, it's Gen 2. It's true Linux in that sense, but it's not true Linux in that you have software, you know, software repositories, things like that within limits. And I know they're making some steps towards that. But I'm uncomfortable with that. I'm uncomfortable with any big company. You know, Clear Linux as well. Clear Linux, no. Intel is not necessarily a trustworthy company. I would not want them having the desktop market personally. You know, Linux Mint would be fine. Pop! OS would be fine if you change the desktop environment. The underlying underpinnings of Pop! OS are awesome. Just the desktop environment makes no sense to an average person. You know, the GNOME is for a Linux geek. It really is. It is a great desktop. It's just not for your average person. You know, if my mother couldn't get in there, well, never mind. That's a bad example because my mother doesn't know how to delete emails. True story. Literally showing her, here's your emails. How do you delete them? Highlight them and push delete. How do you do that? It was not a good day. All right. When Walmart employees in my home, when Walmart trusts me to buy groceries in the store, leave without paying for them and promise to pay for it later. There you go. Too lazy to go to the groceries, you're lame. Yeah. Yeah, if you're handicapped, that's a difference. Yeah. Tainted and vetted. Yeah. Trained and vetted. Yeah. Tainted and vetted, more like it. Yeah. This is more cringy than E3 will ever be. Bacon? Bacon. Delivering groceries by the supermarket is only acceptable in one specific circumstance: if the customer is physically unable of going to the supermarket. Yeah, I mean, fun confession, guys. I've actually only ever been through a drive-through once, I think. Maybe twice, but I think it was once. I just want to park the car and get out. I want to leave the house. Now, some people, though, like, I know a couple people that are, like, super high-level business guys that are never home. It's okay. I mean, they've liked that type of thing, but, you know. I'm weird, though. Since I work at home, I look forward to going to the grocery store. So, you know, it gets me out of the house for an hour. There are legit third-party companies that already deliver groceries to people who can't shop. You don't have time to search for a solution if Gen 2 fails compiling for 5 hours. Yeah, I know. All right. Actually, I'd like a bonded person in my house as the bond is holding to a contract with the company one works for. Nice cover. Which cover? Love the channel because I actually use Linux for real work. Yes, so do I. So do I. Capital One has treated me very well. All right. Very good. Great thing about Chris Titus Tech, his channel, is that he's pragmatic with Linux. He treats it as a tool. That's exactly what we need to do. That's why I'm not like the most popular Linux guy among the Linux community, because I'm not caring about all the little stuff. I don't care about all that little stuff. I care about getting work done. It's a tool. That's what it is. Absolutely. Chris's channel is awesome. If you have not checked out Chris Titus Tech's channel, go check his out. His channel is awesome. Kept yelling down the room at Lewis, telling him he cannot understand what you're saying. Well, then perhaps don't waste Lewis's time. There you go. Switch Linux Mint, and I love it. Got to know about it because of you. Awesome. Very good. Very good. Nothing like a city of brotherly love. Yeah. How about the city of brotherly hate? I don't know. All right. Okay. Windows 10, you may be able to block the telemetry, but it only takes one mistake before they get it all. Yep. Creeps you see the people at Walmart will use that service, but they'll stay at home to do something nasty. I don't want to know. GNOME is systemd dependent. That's okay. Greetings, Anarita. How's it going? Last time they tried selling Linux computers at Walmart worked great. Remember Lindos? Admittedly, that was 20 years ago. No, I don't remember that. F Apple, it is on the record that Lewis said that. Yep. Blows my mind is the crowd on Big Daddy keeps saying that GNOME is the best for new users. No, it's not. It's too unfamiliar, and like GNOME is awesome to use if you know all the keyboard stuff. GNOME is designed for that. But your average computer user is a point and clicker. Your average computer user is a point and clicker. And that's what you need. You need a desktop that works for point and click. That's why Mac, despite I don't like Mac, the UI is still point and click. There are keyboard shortcuts and all these things, and I use a hybrid of pointing and clicking and keyboard shortcuts. But I use the hybrid because it's faster than just keyboard or just mouse. GNOME makes it very difficult to do that. Need Chinese CPUs on the market, yeah. People who want another way to do a thing for mobile. Yeah, except it doesn't work well on mobile. I think GNOME was better option given how most people are phone zombies. Yeah, but we still sit down at a computer and we treat it differently. That's with DOS and kept typing LS instead of DR. Yeah. That's why I type DR instead of LS on Linux, because I'm still too used to DOS. I do more LS now. One of your streams, that 4K video downloaded to a malware, ask because I use it now. I do not know anything about the 4K video downloader. Somebody on my streams said it was full of malware. I do not know. I cannot tell you one way or the other. There are, Anarita, in your repository, there are going to be a couple of them. Dan said which one it was. I forget what it is, but there's a very good GUI one that's excellent. There's also YouTube DL, which on Linux Mint, I have not seen the GUI for that, but you can use the command line. It's pretty easy to figure out. But there are some good ones in Linux already, but I don't know anything about it for the good or for the bad. Oh, be nice over there. Toss is a great guy, man. Be nice to Toss. All right. To work from home, when my wife asks, do you want to go? I say yes. That's right. GTK 2 feels so much faster than GTK 3. Yeah, GTK 3 just feels laggy. Mentor in one box, Manjaro in the other. To understand that around 100 Ubuntu distros are exactly the same with some minor differences which are irrelevant, then it can get confusing. Yeah. Yes, dir is a Linux command. Does effectively the same thing as ls. I'm pretty sure it was added just for those Windows people. Well, DOS people, I should say. China wants to get nasty, they can block all of our imports. Yep. Yep. Respect the family. If you're not nice to Toss, he'll put you in the caddy. All right, guys, we have one more section. Let's go ahead and do the security, and then we will raid Toss. Sound good? All right, I got to find my security screen now. Where's my security? Really? I thought I did a separate screen for my security. Well, I have a screen for it. I thought I did a separate title for my security, but I guess I did not. Anyway, we're going to the same old title as the last one, I guess. Did I put it somewhere else? Oh well. Anyway, let's see. Microsoft says mandatory password changing is ancient and obsolete. Good! It's about time! Yes, guys, constantly changing your password is actually a really bad thing. And so finally Microsoft is getting behind this, so hopefully that means that some regulators will get in and start remembering this. Now, this was actually part of a long list of things that they're changing inside of their baseline security, baseline settings for Windows 10 Server. So the one that they're talking about is dropping password expiration policies. Change is discussed in further detail below. No question is stated password security is problematic and has been for a long time. And I completely disagree. Passwords are still the best way to access a system. In fact, I closed a financial account this last week because they required a phone number. I said, no, I set this up with a password and security questions. That's what I'm going to use. They said, no, we can't do that. They would not even let me into the account one time to clear things out. I said, just delete the account, close it. Passwords are fine as long as you're using a good password. All right. And a good password, by the way, is not 8 digits, uppercase, lowercase numbers, and special characters. A good password is a sentence. A good password is long. It doesn't matter how many characters. It just matters if it's long. Because the cracking tools don't care what type of characters. It cares how long it is. All right. But when humans pick their passwords, too often they use something easy to guess or predict. Now, the problem is when they do that, when you require them to change the password every few months, which a lot of companies still do, what ends up happening is you get on there and you do the same password and you just keep incrementing a number, or you keep it on a sticky note easy to find in your office. Both of those are bad things. And so they're dropping password expiration, which is actually an amazingly good thing. And then this is an interesting one. Google warns that banning Huawei devices could actually increase security risks. Now, actually, another article came out just this afternoon, shortly before the program started. I meant to throw it in, but I didn't, where Google basically, Google wants, on the one side of their mouth, Google says that they're asking the government for an exception to allow Android on Huawei devices to keep their monopoly. But on the other hand, what Google says here is absolutely correct on this article. By blocking Huawei from using Android, what this means is that they are going to create their own phone OS. And when Chinese developers do this kind of stuff, it is always inherently more insecure. And so what will end up happening is we'll have these Huawei devices that can't have Android on it anymore. And so they'll have the proprietary, Huawei operating system, and that will be very buggy, very full of holes. And that is in and of itself, the problematic thing. But ultimately, Google is mostly concerned with having a monopoly because they're concerned if Huawei does something, other people will take the project and make a competitor to Android. So yeah, Google is playing both sides of the fence here. They're ultimately doing it for their own interest, not the interest of security. But what they say in here is actually a valid point. What do you guys think about that? Let me know. All right, let's see. I've been using Linux for 25 years and didn't know about this. Yep. Christian edition of Ubuntu was Xyphos. Yeah. Come on, man. That had more than just Xyphos. It also had some wallpapers installed. But it was a step better than the Ubuntu Satanic edition. That was just different themes. It was exactly Ubuntu with different wallpaper themes. So, but yeah, Christian edition. I mean, at least they weren't saying this is a separate distro. They were just saying it's Ubuntu Christian edition. And again, the Satanic edition, that was just, hey, you could install it just by installing our theme pack here. Those were at least genuine about the fact they weren't specific distros. But yeah, a lot of distros are just a few programs that change. That's not a distro, Never change passwords. Why? Unless they are compromised. Yep. Passwords are written in code on paper. Yep. Making people set a secure password the first time is hard enough. When they change it, they're likely to make it easier and less secure. Yep. When passwords are restricted to A to Z, 0 to 9. If I want to put a Chinese character on a password or 4 along with a Thai character, I should be able to. Yep. Best solution for passwords, piece of paper and writing up randomly generated passwords. They can still use a keylogger, of course. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the same combination I have in my luggage. That's right. Set a secure password and let people knock on your door. If they set strong and long, you usually are good to go. And don't forget about adding two-factor authentication token base. Yes, nothing attached to a phone number. Just don't attach stuff to phone numbers. You can use a cell phone authentication app. That's okay, as long as that's not tied to your phone number. But tying anything to your phone number is a bad idea. I have all my 3 passwords written on a note card in the Bible. As long as, never, ever, ever, by the way, use 2911 as a PIN number. Don't use 2911. And God is good and God is great are 2 passwords that Christians often use. Don't use those either. Even they even replace the O's with zeros and stuff. Very easy to hack. All due respect, you're at least partially wrong. All right, what am I partially wrong about? Entropy matters more because it's about total number of computations. Take the brute force. Yeah, that's why a long sentence, though, is still better. Because the number of computations is dependent on how long the password string is. This is actually interesting. So when you write a book, you need to get a Library of Congress control number, LCCN number. You'll see it printed in the inside of a book. So their old system required you to change your password like every, 30 or 60 or whatever days. It was very annoying. They changed to a new system this last month. And their new system, when you logged in, They had to have a 16-character password. If they make me change that thing every 3 months, I might have to go postal. Wowzers. All right, use a random generator. All right. All right. Richard finally been able to install Ubuntu Linux after turning off Secure Boot and setting BIOS to Legacy. Very good. Awesome. So the password, I have smelly socks and feet is taken, probably. Try feet and socks, though, you know. When I worked for AT&T, one caller's account password was, I don't have one. I was literally working on a site, and the people call me up, and they're like, our site was hacked. Can you help us fix it? Sure. What's your password? A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Like, Houston, I think I know how you were hacked. Oh, boy. Not good to compete, having fun at the toss chat. All right. All right, let's see. Huawei OS or Android? They both sound like data miners, probably. Thing, I can switch my computer back to EFI. Well, what you want to... It actually depends on how you install Ubuntu. Ubuntu will install either way, but when you install something, if you have installed it under Legacy, you always have to have the option to load Legacy. If you've installed it under EFI, you have to load. You have to have the ability to load EFI. So it depends on how you installed it into the system. And then, like what I do on mine is both protocols run. I just run the Legacy first. So it scans all the drives on Legacy, and then it goes back and rescans all the drives on EFI. My chances are, if you've switched it to Legacy, it installed Legacy, and you do not want to change it off of Legacy. All right, we're getting to the bottom here, so we're going to feed the kitty. Can someone throw the link to Toss's stream in the chat, please? 28 character, 50 special. Let's see. Biggest banks in Germany only lets you choose a 5-digit alphanumeric password. Wow. Got another question. What is the difference between sudo apt-get upgrade and sudo apt-get... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so your first way is correct. So sudo is to do as a super user. So super user do. That will allow you to run something as this. So apt-get was the old way of upgrading something. You don't actually have to use the -get. You just do sudo apt upgrade now. You just drop the -get. Sudo -apt is going to give you an error because sudo -apt is not a command. I don't think it is anyway. So sudo -apt is nothing. You want to use sudo apt upgrade. Is what you want to do. The apt-get was the old way of doing it. Apt is what you use now. Online banking is terrible. It sounds anyone doesn't try. Okay. Commands. Five-digit alphanumeric password can be brute forced in way less than a second. Yep. Thank you, Anna. Oh, thank you, Frost Ranger. All right, let's go ahead and feed this kitty. Oh boy, kitty. Oh boy, kitty. Oh boy, kitty. Come on. Come on. All right. Houston, we got a cat. Oh, smell in there. There you go. Go on, stick your paw in there. Or your face. Oh, he got one. Ready? Here's another one. And another one. Are they finger licking good? They're finger licking good, aren't they? Huh? Sudo apt get update will work, but you can do sudo apt update now as well. Alright, let's wrap these guys up. Okay. It says right there, most certainly do reload prepaid debits. Done it before. Yeah, I just think that maybe your cashier didn't know what she was doing. Arabic numbering system is interesting. You would assume that Arabic is written right to left, that their numbers be too difficult, but no. All right, guys, we are going to jump on over to Toss's stream. The link, a couple people have the link up there above. Head on over to Total OS Today, and when you get there, type in STL Raid. And we will catch you guys over there. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And I hope that you enjoy Switch to Linux. And one more reminder, there will not be a video tomorrow. I will not be live streaming tomorrow. So we will catch you guys a later date.